up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and this is your Gilbert Burns versus Belal Muhammed breakdown. Very, very short notice, 5-round co-main event, two top contenders going at it, and I love it. I love the fact that these guys took the opportunity, and hey, you know what? Some people are asking me, are you going to be mad when they take Colby Covington's title shot? Hey, honestly, if one of these guys win right now, I'm not mad at it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the UFC has their plans. The master plan will not be played with, but I'm not mad at it, man. If the UFC decides, hey, we're rocking with one of these two guys or the winner of one of these guys, I'm not mad at it. They deserve a title shot. They've worked their asses off for this moment, and yeah, I'll be really happy. I'm not mad at it. Both guys lose to Leon in my humble opinion, so I ain't worried. I'm not phased. So yeah, it is what it is. But you know what's funny about this fight? There's a bit of a storyline going into this because both guys have called each other out, and both guys have said the other one is ducking each other. So it's really interesting. You got two of the hardest working, I guess, workhorse fighters in the division that don't have a lot of hype, but fights anyone, don't care. And both guys want to lay that claim to the baddest motherfucker in the game right now. Obviously, I'd say it's more Durinho because he can actually finish people unlike Belal. But Belal also wants to be known as that guy that will fight anyone. That will fight anyone on any kind of short notice or any top contender to get his shot. So there is some storyline going into this one because when Burns fought Neil Magny, he was saying, hey, where's Belal at? Saying, well, let's go fight in Brazil, And that was one of the biggest storylines going into that matchup is that Burns really wanted Belal, right? And then after fucking Belal had said he can't make weight, people were trying to say Burns was ducking him because he didn't want to fight him at 185 or whatever, which I think is ridiculous. If you're doing Ramadan and you're saying that you want to fight everyone in a mama, you're saying you want to be the short nose for Usman and Leon 3, I mean, I think you should be on weight, but hey, that's on him if he wasn't. So it is what it is. But now he's agreed to fight at 170, and now we're here. Let's talk about the tail of the tape. Belal Muhammed comes with a record of 22-3. Is fighting at Chicago, age 34, a height of 5'11", and reaches 72.0. Gilbert Durinho Burns comes with a record of 22-5. He's fighting out of Florida, age 36, a height of 5'10", and reaches 71. So Belal's gonna have the reach advantage going into this matchup, and he's gonna be the younger guy. Now Durinho, has he looked the age of 36 since competing? I actually think he's actually looked a lot better in his last few fights, but he is the older guy going into this matchup, and it might play a factor because you never know. It can happen in a day. You can be right in your prime, you can be still good at 36, and the next day you can have fallen off and become old, right? It can happen to the best of us, and I know there are some people that are predicting the scenario that Belal will break Gilbert Durinho Burns because he's a more cardio based fighter. Durinho kind of slows down, doesn't have great output in 5-round fights, doesn't have a lot of 5-round fights, you know what I'm saying? So there's just that discussion, and obviously age can play a factor in that, and I don't know, we'll see. Obviously I disagree with that notion because I know it's against Tyron Woodley, but he did go 5 rounds and he didn't look like he got tired in that 5th round. But he paced himself a lot better in that fight, so that's also a thing. But we talk about resumes. Let's talk about Belal's, right? The guy has fought at who's in this division. He's fought everyone. He's on an insane win streak right now. He got wins over Sean Brady, Vicente Luque, Stephen Thompson, Damian Maia, Diego Lima, Lyman Good, Takashi Sato, and Curtis Melinder. So that's his current win streak right now. He's competed against Jeff Neal in a loss. He's beaten Tim Means, Jordan Mean, and Randy Brown. He does have that first loss of Vicente Luque, and he did compete against Alan Jouban and lost. So the guy, and that was a crazy fight, that Jouban fight, but the guy, Belal, it's interesting because when I talk about Belal Muhammed, it's kind of crazy because I'm never too highly of the guy, but I mean, he's proven me wrong. You know what I'm saying? And every time he's fought a top level guy, I just find myself amazed that he's able to win these fights because I don't think there's one particular area where I think he's elite at. I think the only thing that makes Belal elite is his self-belief in himself, because he does believe that he has the skills to be a top 5 fighter or a champion, and I just don't think he's that guy. And just sometimes that belief in yourself and some good work ethic can take you very, very far, and it's taken him very, very far. And I'm not saying Belal's not good. He's good, but I just don't think he's elite. But, you know, he's proven me wrong. And right now, I mean, he's in the top 5. So that means he's elite to a certain degree, right? So yeah, you have to give him his respect there. But it's the reason why I feel the way I feel is, obviously, let's talk about the Lyman Good fight, right? I know you guys remember that fight. Lyman Good had him. He had him in that 3rd round. He hurt him. Belal, he's very good lately. Something he's devised is he fights in 2 particular ways. I'll tell you about Belal Muhammed. He fights in 2 ways. He's either going forward and giving you constant pressure, really heavy on the lead leg, and he's going to put it on you, right? And also looks for takedowns in between that. Or he's fighting on the outside. He's fighting side-to-side movement. He'll throw a body kick, but he's on his back foot. He's on his bicycle, and he's throwing body kicks, and he's moving around, and then he looks for takedowns in the outside of the pocket, you might say, right? Especially you saw that in the Lyman Good fight and also his Vicente Luque fight. That's where he would attack from the outside. He'd be circling him, go at him, throw like maybe 1-2, then body kick, then get out, do the same thing, and maybe shoot for a takedown to end it when he throws his other combinations. And that's how he would fight. And against Lyman Good, he got caught. He got hurt bad, and he got wobbled. And it seems like he fights like that against guys with legit power. Durinho has knockout power. I'd actually argue Durinho actually hits a little harder than Vicente Luque. Now, some people might disagree with me there, but you look at the stone-cold knockouts that Durinho has thrown, and when you look at the way Durinho throws, he's throwing overhands and crazy wide lead hooks. I would say Luque is more technical than that. You know, if you look, Luque's throwing straight shots. He has a good hook. He has a good left hook, don't get it. But even his left hook isn't as wild and isn't as intense as Durinho. So obviously my point is Durinho throws with more intensity, and he throws with more intent to hurt, in my opinion, than Vicente Luque, if you just watch the tape. But yeah, so that's something I noticed. So I think Belal's going to fight like that against Durinho. And I mean, it's worked for him. You know, he's either dominated in the wrestling or he's been able to dominate in the striking. And in his last fight against Sean Brady, he was able to dominate in the striking. Obviously, I thought Brady won the first round. I thought Brady was actually more the more technical striker out of the two. If you actually watch, I didn't like Belal's posture, his stance. It kind of looked a little too heavy. But that's why he was like that, because he went in that fight thinking, I'm gonna break this kid, and you could just tell he was just so eager to go out there and break him. I think he was kind of, you know, not patient, but I mean, he got the finish, and he looked good. He looked good, and I liked how he used his jab, and I loved how he would pull back counter and just throw the cross right. And then one thing that really helped him in that fight, in my humble opinion, was that rear hook. That rear hook he threw on Brady, because Brady was circling right into his right or his left or whatever it is. Basically, his power hand, either the cross or the rear hook, but the cross wasn't really landing at one point. You know, Brady was just, you know, slipping and moving his head. But when Belal had changed it up a little bit and threw the rear hook, that's where he got him, and he was able to finish him, and he did his thing, you know, respect to him. He was able to outwork a good prospect, and you know, he neutralized him on the ground. He stuffed both takedowns, so that was good, and that's what this fight's going to be. I think it's going to be in the stand-up, but I was impressed, and I was like a little speechless. I'm not gonna lie. You guys could go check out the reaction. I was like, wow, okay, he just finished Brady. What does that say about Brady? You know what I'm saying? These are the things to think about. But in the Burns matchup, I can see the guy trying the same thing. But I do think he will be met with devastating results. Jorge Masvidal had to find out the hard way. So I assume that he's gonna fight on his on his bicycle actually in this fight. The only thing about this fight with him is I don't think he's gonna be able to take down Durinho. I think the one place Belal is actually gonna have a lot of success in, and you watch Burns' Gunnar Nelson fight, is in the clinch. If Belal's smart and he's watching his tape and he's making his reads, Gunnar Nelson held Durinho against the clinch for a long, crazy amount of time. Now, he couldn't do anything with it. He couldn't get a takedown. He couldn't do nothing. But he was able to keep his back against the fence. And I assume that's what Usman was going to try to do in their fight. Now, Usman said, fuck that. I'm going to jab him up. But if Belal is smart and he's done his research, that is a way for Belal to really win. And it's more of a minute way of winning. So, you know, and Belal's a natural minute winner, right? He's not a finisher. He's a decision guy. So it does go into his little wheelhouse. So I think that's one path for Belal to really, you know, win. And obviously Belal's gonna, I agree with people that think Belal has a cardio advantage. I do. He might have the output advantage, but I just don't think he has the championship mentality advantage. And that's why I go with Gilbert. You look at Gilbert's fucking run and who he's fought, I just don't think you can really compare. I think Gilbert has the better resume. And the guys he's fought, I mean, he's fought Jorge Masvidal, Neil Magny, Chimaev, fucking Stephen Thompson, Kumar Usman, Tyron Woodley, Damian Maia, Gunnar Nelson, Kunchenko, what's it called? Mike Davis, OAM, Dan Hooker, a lot of good guys. Rashid Magomedov. He's fought some decent guys. Michel Perez, Cristiano Gagos, Alex Oliveira, he's fought good guys. And Durinho, obviously, he has gotten so much better since his lightweight days. And you could say the same thing about Belal Muhammed. He's gotten so much better since the Alan Jouban fight or the Jeff Neal fight or any of these other fights he's lost. He's gotten so much better. But with Burns, I think when Burns goes out there and he really chops them legs down and he looks for that 1-2 and that crazy strong jab and that overhand right, or even goes for those explosive takedowns, he is elite. And what makes Burns so elite, in my humble opinion, is that he explodes into these things. He's just so uber explosive, and that's what makes him good. That's what makes him a problem. Now, some people were saying the cardio thing. I think it's true and not true. I think if he paces himself, which I think he will, and he's more calculating, I think he wins this fight. I think in the counters, he's going to hurt Belal. That's what Jeff Neal was able to do to him. And it's just the power. The power difference is going to be really, it's going to be big here. So if Burns can hurt him on the feet, can find the precise counters, I think he wins this fight, because I think this fight's going to be on the feet. We saw what Burns was able to do to Jorge Masvidal on the feet, right? And you guys called him one of the best boxers in the game. And he was able to outbox him in that third round, in my humble opinion. Outwork him, hurt him, staggered him a little bit. But obviously, Jorge was washed. But you guys wanted to say Jorge was going to win, so I'm not going to let you guys get away with that. But my main point is that in this matchup against Belal, you look at the resumes, they don't compare. One, they just don't. I mean, Belal has a good resume, but Burns is a better one. He's fought real good competition. And, I mean, the Chimaev fight in itself, man, he gave Chimaev hell. You know what I'm saying? And, dude, he almost won that fight. Honestly, if he would have just worked a little harder in that third round, he would have won that fight. And it was a crazy fight. It was a great fight. But he was able to neutralize Chimaev's wrestling. What do you think Belal is going to do in the wrestling? You know what I'm saying? Belal's only one good chance of winning is outworking Burns with decent boxing footwork and boxing combos and clinch control. That's his only pathway of victory, in my humble opinion. And maybe if he can weather a storm, which I can also see from Burns, right? Maybe he might get hurt by Burns, and Burns, he throws everything, he throws the whole entire kitchen sink at him, right? He gets tired, and then Belal can come back and maybe win the fight that way. I can see that. I can see that, but I just don't think Burns is that guy anymore. I think he learned that lesson in the Usman fight. I don't think he's going to make the same mistake twice. And I think, and you see it, he's more calculated. You look at the Jorge Masvidal fight. He hurt him, but he didn't pounce on him. After that, he waited. And I think the leg kicks are there for Burns. I think they were there, especially in that Luque fight, especially in that Brady fight. So obviously that's a path to victory there, to attack the legs. The high kicks there, we saw what Leon Edwards was able to do, and yeah, the overhand is there, the lead hook is there, just the power overall is there. And I just think Burns is also on a technical level on the feet better than Belal. The only place I can really see Belal being a little better than him is cardio. And if Burns can just, pick his areas correctly, he wins this fight. I'm rocking with Gilbert Burns by third round TKO. I think he gets Belal out of there. And yeah, that's my prediction. Hope you guys enjoyed the long breakdown. But UFC 288 fight week is here. I cannot wait. It's going to be a great fight week. And yeah, man, we're blessed, y'all. I hope you guys enjoy the new poster. I'm going to be getting a bunch of posters this year, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. Hope you guys think this is cool. It's UFC 226 DC versus Stipe 1. It's when DC knocked that fool out. So yeah, I love y'all. Goodbye. Go follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. Like, comment, share the video. It's your boy eBay, and I'm out of here.